The Chicago Bears could be in position to get a 2-for-1 swap in the 2023 NFL Draft. Chicago could snag a top 10 wide receiver along with still getting a projected top 10 pick. How could they do this? The Chicago Bears and Arizona Cardinals both have top 5 picks as of right now. The Arizona Cardinals, who had high expectations entering this season, were like the Denver Broncos and just completely failed, did not win any games that they thought they were going to win, and looks like they're going to tear this thing down after the season after a failed season. The Cardinals currently sit with the number 4 pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, and the Chicago Bears sit at number 2. Cardinals have projected $22 million in cap this upcoming offseason before the retiring of J.J. Watt and potentially sending off more players. Could this be the right move for Chicago? Before I jump into what this trade would consist of, please make sure to hit the like button on this video, comment your thoughts, and if you like the video enough and want to see more Chicago sports content, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. So what would this 2-for-1 trade be for the Chicago Bears? DeAndre Hopkins, who is currently on the Arizona Cardinals, is arguably one of the best wide receivers over the last decade. The Chicago Bears have struggled for the last few seasons to find someone they can rely on to be a top 10 wide receiver. Allen Robinson could have been that guy, but Matt Nagy, we all know, ruined that for us as Chicago Bears fans. But DeAndre Hopkins coming into a brand new regime, much better built, and also could be a true leader and could be a huge help for the Chicago Bears while we still get a top 5 projected pick. So here's the breakdown. Chicago will receive DeAndre Hopkins along with Arizona's first-round pick, currently sitting at number 4. Arizona would then get Chicago's first-round picks, currently sitting at number 2, could turn into number 1, along with getting Chicago's 5th-round pick. I think this is fair for both sides. For Chicago, they get a top 10 wide receiver in DeAndre Hopkins, who is still in the prime of his career and could be a great mentor for not only Justin Fields, but the wide receiver room as a whole. They get a true number 1 wide receiver for Justin Fields. Chicago still gets a top 10 pick for their rebuild, and they can go out and get a guy like Jalen Carter or Myles Murphy. We did videos on both those guys. Please go and check them out. For the Arizona Cardinals, they clear a ton of cap getting rid of Hopkins. He is owed over $34 million over the next 2 seasons and will be 32 years old at the end of his contract. They also get the number 1 or the number 2 overall pick. Likely they could go after a guy like Will Anderson Jr. to replace J.J. Watt, or if they decide to go with a new quarterback and dealt Kyler Murray elsewhere for more picks. Not to the Chicago Bears though, we don't need him. 6'1", 212 pounds, currently 30 years old and in the 10th year of his NFL career. 5-time Pro Bowler along with being a 5-time All-Pro. Had 6 1,000+ yard receiving seasons. Could have been 7 in all of them in a row if he got 46 more yards earlier in that streak. Has 3 career double-digit receiving touchdown seasons. And in only 9 games this year, Hopkins has over 700 receiving yards and he was on pace to have more than 1,300. In my opinion, he could also be a Hall of Famer down the road and he still has a ton left in the tank. So why would we want to bring in a guy that's, on his way out of his prime of his career? He's one of the best wide receivers of the last decade. And he still has a ton of gas left in the tank, in my opinion, to be a huge threat to the NFC North and anyone that the Bears face over the next couple seasons. He can practically catch anything. He has crazy strong hands and flexibility to make any catch. He can also jump high for those 50-50 balls in the red zone or in the end zone or just anywhere on the field. And that helps eliminate the need for the Bears to go out and get a guy like that in the draft or in free agency. Speaking of free agency, there's literally no good wide receivers, in my opinion, in the upcoming free agent class. So the Bears get rid of their first-round pick, but they still get another first-round pick and a guy that's going to help the wide receiver room while effectively doing a 2-for-1. Great, because he also brings that leadership and brings that veteran status to the wide receiver room that the Bears desperately need, while also getting a wide receiver 1 for Justin Fields. If you like this video, again, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and put your comments in the comment section below. But that's my breakdown of what the Bears could get if they do trade back and how they can effectively get the most for the bang for their buck. But with that, thank you very much for joining this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Brody, and we will see you guys next time.